At the beginning of the drama, we see the male lead, Lang, who is having a dream where a small child is calling for his mom, and when he reaches a place, he sees that his mom has died. Seeing this dream, Lang's sleep is broken. After this, we see the drama's female lead, Su-ming, whose dad's funeral is today. Now, a boy named Ziyang comes to her and says, "Don't worry, my mom and I will take care of you in your dad's company." Just then, Lang arrives there. Lang is carrying a flower bouquet with him. Seeing Lang, Ziyang's mom says, "This is the one because of whom Su-ming's dad had to lose so much." Then Lang says, "These are just allegations. He himself was in debt. Chi Chao handed over all the papers to me himself." Now Su-ming looks at Lang and says, "You are responsible for my dad's death. Take these flowers away." Saying this, Su-ming is constantly hitting Lang's chest with that flower bouquet, so Lang holds Su-ming and says, "Watch how slowly I will acquire the entire company, property, and you as well." Further, he holds Su-ming's hand and says, "I brought this bouquet because I have to make one thing clear. From today, the Zizhen group is entering a new era. So, if anyone is still sad for Chi Chao, they will become my enemy." Saying this, he throws Su-ming to the ground and leaves from there, and Su-ming remains sitting alone on the ground. Later, we see Lang's people kicking Su-ming out of her house. Su-ming keeps knocking on the gate saying, "Let me in! Let me in! This is my house." Just then, Lang comes there and says, "This is my house." Su-ming says, "Lang, how much more does my dad owe you that you are behaving so rudely?" Lang says, "What Chi Chao owes me? This is nothing in comparison. This is just the beginning." After this, we see Lang come to his house's balcony and start drinking. Over there, Su-ming is sitting on the road, getting drenched in the rain. She thinks, "I can't leave this place. My dad worked so hard to protect this place. How useless I am. I couldn't protect anyone. Dad died. The company was also snatched, and now this house has also been taken." Here, it is shown in a flashback that some people are forcibly taking Lang's mom from the house somewhere, and from behind, Lang is calling for his mom. Now the scene comes to the present time where Su-ming is sitting on the road. So Lang comes to her, and Su-ming says, "I will give you whatever you want, just let me live here." So Lang says, "I want you." Then Lang picks her up and takes her away. Later, we see Lang's aunt, Aunt Man, hitting him and saying, "Don't forget how your mom was killed." Lang says, "Su-chi and Miss Ruie killed my mom together. Now Su-ming will have to face the consequences for it." Then we see Su-ming coming to Lang and saying, "Why did you throw away my personal things?" Lang says, "Whatever I find unnecessary, I will throw it away." Now Lang throws away all of Su-ming's toys. Because of this, Su-ming gets angry and pushes Lang. Now Su-ming goes to jump into the swimming pool to get her teddy bear, and at the same time she pulls Lang into the swimming pool with her. Then she says to Lang, "How shameless you are. You tried to destroy my childhood memories." So Lang says, "You are talking about shame? You take things from other people. You are shameless just like your dad." So Su-ming throws water on Lang's face, and she calls Lang shameless. Now Lang starts kissing her constantly and says, "You keep hitting me, and I will keep kissing you. After all, you called me shameless, right?" Saying this, he kisses Su-ming again. So Su-ming says, "I am warning you. Stay away from me." Lang says, "Come on, let me show you how shameless I can be." Hearing this, Su-ming frees her hand from Lang. On that side, Ziyang's mom tells Ziyang, "Chi Chao died, but now I have to deal with Lang. You have to win over Su-ming, and we also have to defeat Lang." After this, Su-ming is reaching home when Lang comes and tells her, "You are doing all this to get sympathy." Then he puts his foot on the floor and says, "I asked you something." Su-ming says, "Do you have no value for other people's hard work?" Then Lang pulls Su-ming up and asks, "Do you think that after all your actions I will behave well with you?" Just then Aunt Man says, "I told her to do such work. She can't live here for free." Later, Su-ming is looking at a photo and thinks to herself, "I know Zixing. You will definitely come back." Just then Aunt Man comes there and says to her, "Are you still keeping this photo here?" And then she tries to take the photo from her hand, and in all this, Su-ming gets hurt. Now Lang comes there and sees all this, so Su-ming says, "I will give you as much money as you want, but please don't take my things from me." Just then, Lang sees a cut on Su-ming's hand, and after saying all this, Su-ming starts crying. Lang says, "If you want to live here peacefully, then be obedient." Then Lang takes Aunt Man and leaves from there. Then Su-ming, while crying, is collecting the pieces of that photo. On that side, Aunt Man remembers how people threw Lang's mom out of their house. Aunt Man thinks, "This is Xing's property." And in this very storage room, Xing has endured so much pain. He was locked in this room for so many days. He was so young and was afraid of the dark. How could she be so heartless? But there is no need to worry. Miss Ruie and Chi Chao will not be able to escape their mistakes. I will make sure that these villains get their punishment. Later, Ziyang shows some photos of Lang to his mom, and his mom says, "He is not as innocent as he looks." On that side, Lang gives Su-ming an ointment. Su Ming thinks, is this for my injury? Here, we are shown in a flashback how Ant-Man had snatched that photo from Su Ming's hand. And in all this, Su Ming had gotten hurt. The scene comes to the present time, and Su Ming thinks, can Lang really be this kind? On that side, Ziyang's mom tells Ziyang, you have to win Su Ming. Tonight is the banquet, so we can do some planning on this. After this, Lang holds a party in his house because he is now going to become the chairman of Su Ming's dad's company. Now in front of everyone, he treats Su Ming like a servant. He tells Su Ming, serve food to everyone. At this, Su Ming looks at him angrily, but Lang ignores her. So Su Ming starts pouring wine from a wine jar into a glass. Later, Ziyang's mom tells Su Ming, you have had to endure a lot. You should join the company. This is the place where you can shine. Su Ming says, you are right. Can you help me? I will join the design department. And I hate Lang. He not only took properties from my dad, but he also pushed my dad towards death. So Ziyang's mom says, I will help you to return to the company, but you will have to keep an eye on Lang. In a week, there will be a board meeting to decide if Lang will ultimately become the chairman or not. I will send you the names of 5 important board members. Now later, Su Ming tells this to Ziyang, so Ziyang puts his hand on her shoulder and says, my mom will take care of this. Just then, Lang comes and separates them, saying, Su Ming is my servant, and this is Su Ming's duty hour. Then he takes Su Ming inside and says, that boy was harassing you, can't you see that? Or do you enjoy this? Su Ming says, don't project your bad thoughts onto someone else. Lang says, before, you were wealthy, so he respected you, but now you're not wealthy. For him, you are nothing more than a pretty face. As soon as you lose your value, you will become a plaything. Anyway, then over there, Ant-Man, looking at Ruie from a distance, says to herself, Ruie, you have destroyed Xing's family. After everything you have done, how can you roam around without guilt? After this, Ziyang's mom tells Ziyang, the Su family still has some importance in the company. So by letting Su Ming join the company, we can get an advantage. Then Ziyang says, maybe I should make Su Ming completely mine. Later, Su Ming goes to the company where she is not given any work in the design department. Instead, she is given the role of the chairman's assistant. Now Lang comes there, and seeing him, Su Ming thinks about what Miss Ruie had told her. By staying in the company, you will be able to keep an eye on Lang. After this, Lang reminds Su Ming of some rules. Su Ming says, I have to reply to messages in 15 seconds. Lang says, not 15 seconds, you will reply in 10 seconds. After this, Lang calls Su Ming closer and opens his arms. Su Ming thinks he is acting creepy even in the daytime. So Lang tells Su Ming, help me get ready. So Su Ming puts a blazer on him. At the same time, she adjusts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. Then Lang tells her, you can go now. After this, Lang goes to a party. When he returns from there, he is very drunk. His staff gets him out of the car. Now Lang thinks to himself how in childhood, Su Ming used to be his light in the darkness, and how he and Su Ming used to play. They used to play in this very house, but now Lang feels bad because after childhood, Su Ming never tried to find out about Lang and his mom. Now Lang comes into the house where he finds out that Su Ming is working for Ziyang. Knowing this, Lang gets very angry. He immediately locks Su Ming in a room. Now Su Ming keeps shouting and says, I am afraid of the dark. Get me out. I am very afraid of the dark. Now here, a flashback is shown where in childhood, Miss Ruie had locked Lang in a room and had said, your mom will not come back. And at the same time, Lang had started to get very scared. Lang sat down in fear and started crying. The scene comes to the present time where Lang starts doing the same thing. Then we see in the flashback, little Lang slowly continues to knock on the door. The scene comes to the present time and Su Ming starts doing the same thing. The scene goes to a flashback where Su Ming had come and opened the door and started to console the child Lang. She had said, Xing, if you are scared, you can take my teddy. Then she had hugged little Lang. The scene comes to the present time where Lang is thinking about all these things. Here, Su Ming thinks, Xing, when will you come back? Now in the present time, Su Ming shouts a lot, so Lang opens the door and then he takes her to a room and makes her sit. Then Lang goes to touch Su Ming, but Su Ming hesitates. So seeing this, Lang moves away from her. Now we see Ant-Man with Lang, who tells Lang, if you are not able to walk properly on the path of revenge, then I will remove all your obstacles. You have to walk properly on the path of revenge. Lang says, Su Ming is still useful to us. So the ant says, Ruie and Chi Chao conspired to kill your mom. So Su Ming must have been sent by Ruie. Su Ming can keep an eye on your every movement, so you be careful. It shouldn't be that she betrays you. Lang says, don't worry. I will definitely reclaim the Zhejian company which actually belongs to my mom. Now later we see Miss Ruie telling Su Ming, your dad had some shareholders. You can go and tell them not to elect Lang as the chairman. Then Su Ming does the same. So some support her and some don't. and among them, most of them do not support her. Then Su Ming meets Mr. Chin. Mr. Chin says, "Just by listening to a few of your words, I cannot agree to this agreement." Su Ming says, "In those days when you were stuck in a debt crisis, I don't think my dad would have made you wait so long." Just then, Lang arrives there and tells Su Ming, "Maybe we can leave from here now." And Lang tells Mr. Chin, "It was nice working with you." Then Lang leaves from there. And Su Ming tells Mr. Chin, "Mr. Chin, please help me." Saying this, Su Ming leaves from there. Now later, Lang asks Su Ming, "So how many people helped you?" They will only see their personal gain. They won't be sitting around to help you. Now Su Ming says, "Not everyone is like you." After this, we see the election to select the chairman is going on where some people support Lang. So finally, a person announces Lang has become the chairman. Now seeing this, Ziyang's mom is surprised. But still, all the members have to clap for Lang. And then a person says, "So with this, today's meeting ends." Now Su Ming goes and tells Mr. Lingung, "Mr. Lingung, you promised me that you would not elect Lang." So Mr. Ling says, "Su Ming, I did not promise you anything." From a distance, Lang also notices this. Then Mr. Chin comes and tells Su Ming, "Su Ming, I did my best." Actually, Mr. Chin has not elected Lang, so Su Ming thanks Mr. Chin. Then Su Ming tells Lang, "You won." Most of the people only think about their profit. On that side, a girl calls Miss Ruie and says, "Lang is getting the contract for Dawang construction. Should we secure it?" So Miss Ruie says, "Yes." Then she says, "It doesn't matter that Lang became the CEO. We will still keep snatching his contracts like this." After this, Su Ming works at night, and just then a thunderstorm starts, which scares her. Lang comes and sees Ziyang protecting Su Ming. Lang gets angry and goes to get drenched alone in the rain. Now, while walking on the road, Su Ming sees him, so she takes an umbrella to Lang. She tells Lang, "Why are you getting drenched like this in so much rain? You will fall sick." So Lang throws Su Ming's umbrella down and he kisses her. And Su Ming gets angry and says, "Have you gone mad again?" Lang says, "I think I still like you." Hearing this, Su Ming is surprised. Then Lang remembers Aunt Man's words, who had said, "Your mom died because of Miss Ruie and Su Ming's dad." So then Lang composes himself and says, "Actually, I am playing with you. After doing such things, when you become serious, I like that a lot." Saying this, Lang kisses Su Ming again. So Su Ming slaps Lang, and then Su Ming calls Lang shameless and leaves from there. The next day, Lang gives Su Ming a dress to wear. Su Ming says, "Why should I listen to you?" Lang says, "Listening to me is your job. You have no choice." Then these people go to a party where Lang tells Su Ming, "Tonight your job will be to hold my hand." So Su Ming does just that. Now here, Lang meets Ms. Wang. Lang says, "You and Ms. Ruie seem quite close to each other." Now in all this, Su Ming sneaks away from the side. She stays at this party, but she stays away from Lang. Now at this party, some girls talk among themselves. Su Ming has lost everything. Her dad even lost his house, yet Su Ming is living in someone else's house. Just then, Lang comes and pulls Su Ming with him and tells those two girls, "Did you two say something about my fiancé?" Now Su Ming is surprised by this. From a distance, Ziyang's mom is also surprised to hear this. Now Su Ming tells Lang, "What nonsense are you talking about?" So Lang says, "Do you have any other explanation for why you are living in my house?" So Su Ming is unable to say anything to this. After the party is over, Lang and Su Ming return home. Lang gets Su Ming out of the car. Su Ming is quite drunk and asks Lang, "Why did you appear like this and then take everything from my life? But you don't seem that bad. And by the way, you can control everyone's life. Listen to me, I don't want to live here, but this is my house. And most importantly, this is Xing's house." Hearing this, Lang is a little surprised. He asks, "What did you say?" But by then, Su Ming has fainted. So Lang picks her up in his arms and takes her from there. After this, Aunt Man finds out that Lang has accepted Su Ming as his fiancé in front of everyone. So she gets angry and has Su Ming kidnapped. Now we see Su Ming. Her kidnapper is taking her in a car. Here, her kidnapper is sleeping. So Su Ming secretly tries to open her tied hands with a nail cutter, but then her kidnapper wakes up and holds a knife to Su Ming's face, saying, "If you move again, I will give you a scar on your face." Now Su Ming gets scared by this, so Su Ming smiles and says, "I won't move at all." And hearing this, the kidnapper falls asleep again. Over there, Lang calls someone and says, "Check what time Su Ming left the office," because he has found out that Su Ming is missing. So then Lang goes to the aunt. Now, the aunt is sitting in front of Lang's mom's photo. The aunt says, "My people said that Su Ming has run away." From this, Lang finds out that the aunt herself had Su Ming kidnapped. Now Lang goes to save Su Ming and sees Su Ming lying in a place. Now the next day, we see Su Ming and Lang sleeping on the same bed. Su Ming wakes up and seeing the injury on Lang's hand, she puts a band-aid on that injury. Suddenly, Lang wakes up, so Su-ming says, "Don't move, or this band-aid will come off." So Lang sits quietly. Then Su-ming says, "I don't know why you saved me, but thank you." Lang doesn't say anything to this either, and sits quietly. Now Lang remembers that in childhood, Su-ming used to put a band-aid on him. Then Su-ming says, "My dad used to say that wounds are what help a person to grow." After this, Lang goes in front of his mom's photo. Here he remembers the time spent with Su-ming. He remembers all the injustice he has done to Su-ming, like how many times he has forcibly kissed Su-ming. Remembering all this, he starts to feel sad somewhere. Then he looks towards his mom's photo and says, "Mom, for so many years Su-ming has waited for me, but I have only hurt her." While saying all this, tears from Lang's eyes fall on the floor. After this, we see Miss Ruie, who says, "Su-ming still has 10% of her dad's property." Ziyang says her mom had kept this property for her. It is not included in her dad's shares. So Ziyang's mom thinks, "Su-ming, you fooled me too." Now in this condition, Lang will definitely want to get engaged to her. On that side, Lang asks Su-ming to wear a watch. Su-ming doesn't agree, so he makes Su-ming sit on his lap and puts the watch on her. Then Lang looks at Su-ming. Then he says to her, "I am sorry because Ant-Man had you kidnapped." Hearing this, Su-ming gets very angry. Lang says, "Actually, the ant didn't like hearing about our engagement, so she had you kidnapped, but I promise that something like this will not happen again." Further, Su-ming says, "I want that from today. I should just be your assistant, and we both should only have a professional relationship with each other." Later, Su-ming is working, and a staff member comes and tells her, "In the evening, you have to get this paper signed by Mr. Lang. He will be in room C1 of the Howda Hotel, and these documents are needed urgently." Over there, we see Ruie and Ziyang. Ruie is looking at a document. Ziyang says, "At the banquet, Lang found out about your and Wang's relationship, and still you were able to keep this contract secure with him." But Ziyang's mom says, "These are small things. What really matters is who is keeping the company under their control. And have you done anything further to possess the shares of Zijian from the market?" So Ziyang starts giving excuses, to which his mom says, "Whatever can be bought with money is never tough to get, so you continue to acquire the shares. And also ensure that Su-ming calls off her engagement with Lang. If that 10% falls into Lang's hands, then our stay in this group will become very risky." To this, Ziyang says, "Don't worry, I have found a solution." Then in the evening, we see Lang in a hotel where a person tells him, "Perhaps you were not able to enjoy your meal properly. Anyways, we want our collaboration to continue well." After this, Lang gets a message from Su-ming which says, "Lang, I am coming to you with Ziyang's document." Reading this message, Lang is surprised. Over there, a person misleads Su-ming and takes her, saying that he is taking her to Lang. Actually, this is Ziyang's man, and Su-ming also goes with him. Here, Lang sets out to find Su-ming. That person makes Su-ming drink a lot. And here Lang keeps searching for Su-ming, but he can't find Su-ming anywhere. Over there, after drinking too much, Su-ming starts to feel dizzy. Now that unknown person tries to grab Su-ming and take her away. He says, "I am taking you to Lang." On that side, we see Ziyang, to whom a person gives a card and leaves. After this, we see Ziyang entering a room and saying, "Su-ming, why are you so foolish? If you had waited a little, we both would have become a family. Just give all your shares to me, and I will become the chairman. Then I will make you the chairman's wife. Once we come together, Lang will not be able to stand before us." Then he lifts the bed sheet and sees that there are only pillows under it, and at the same time, the room's lights also turn on. Just then, Lang comes there and says, "Am I seeing something wrong? Ziyang, what are you doing in my room?" So Ziyang pretends and says, "This was supposed to be my room." Then Lang says, "Should I play this recording for everyone of what you have just said?" So Ziyang leaves from there. Now Lang picks up Su-ming from the bathtub and lays her on the bed. But Su-ming, in her drunken state, pulls him towards her and says, "Zixing, I miss you." And then she starts kissing Lang. Anyway, then Lang sits on the bed next to Su-ming. Then he starts looking at Su-ming. After a while, he turns off the light of that room and leaves. After this, we see Lang reading a diary. In this diary, Su-ming had written in her childhood, "My dad brought toffees for me. I will share this with Su-ming because only then will I get to see his rare smile." Reading this, Lang starts to smile. Further, it is written in the diary, "Today, Xing was telling me a story about a mermaid, but just then, a thunderstorm started." Here we see a childhood scene of Su-ming and Lang, where Lang is telling Su-ming, "Don't worry." So Su-ming has written, "When Xing is with me, I don't feel as scared." Just then, Su-ming comes and says, "Don't look at my things." Lang says, "You are staying here with me. I have to know about your past." Anyway, then he says, "You don't have any ill intentions towards me, do you?" Su-ming says, "You took everything from me, and you think I am planning ill intentions towards you? By the way, yesterday I was about to die in the hotel because of you. You called me to sign documents, and then I was made to get very drunk. Was your intention to invade my privacy?" Lang says, "I did not call you, and I did not forcefully make you drink. You are my assistant, so you should only pay attention to my direct orders." At this, Su-ming says, "You just want to wash your hands of this matter." Hearing this, Lang stands up and says, "I just want to show you the difference between right and wrong." But hearing this, Su-ming doesn't understand anything. Later, Su-ming comes to Lang and says, "Why did you ruin my reputation like this? Is this how you break an engagement?" Now Su-ming shows Lang an article where it is written, "The mistress of the chairman of the Zijin group has been unfaithful." Then Su-ming shows Lang a video where someone is taking a drunk Su-ming into a hotel room. So Lang says, "Isn't this what you wanted for this engagement to break?" After this, Su-ming gets angry and leaves from here. So then Lang tells his assistant, "Find out who is behind making this video viral. If Ziyang is behind making this video viral, then make arrangements to fire him." Hearing this, his assistant leaves from here. Now Lang watches that video again and, getting angry, throws the phone on the table. Anyway, then Ant-Man asks Lang, "Were you going to get engaged to a girl who shares a room with another man at night?" Then Lang says, "I will call off my engagement and break all relations with that girl. I am going to my room now." Saying this, he leaves from there. Here, Su-ming is very sad and is sitting by a swimming pool, drinking. Thinking about her dad, she says, "Dad, if you were alive, your heart would surely have broken seeing this news. They are all calling me an unfaithful woman. But the one who did all this is now living in our house." Just then, Lang comes to the balcony and he sees Su-ming in this state from a distance. Here Su-ming is saying, "It's okay. No matter what happens, I will not give up. I will do everything to protect Xing's house." Just then, Lang comes there and asks, "What are you doing here?" Seeing him, Su-ming hugs him and says, "Zixing, you came? I waited so much for you. Dad always used to say that you will definitely return, and I have to protect your house. I have done that, and I have waited a lot for you. But I was feeling that almost all hopes were gone." Then she is looking at Lang's face, and she becomes a little conscious, so she says, "How can this be you?" Then she pushes Lang, and just then she's about to fall. So Lang saves her, and in all this, they kiss again. So Su-ming immediately moves away and she slaps Lang. Then she sees a mark on Lang's chest. Here, we are shown in a flashback that Lang had gotten injured on his right chest in childhood. So Su-ming had applied medicine on that injury of Lang. Further, she says, "You are Xing." So Lang starts to push her away and says, "Why are you acting like this?" Su-ming says, "This scar on your chest came in childhood when you had an accident with a tank, and I applied medicine on this scar." Hearing this, Lang opens his coat and shows his back where there are many scars and says, "Now what story will you make up for these scars?" "Actually, I was a fighter, so I have many scars on my body. So will you make up a story for all these scars? Just because I negotiated with you once doesn't mean you can tie your luck with me." Saying this, Lang leaves from there, and Su-ming sits by the side of the pool and starts crying. After this, we see Ziyang. He says to his mom, "Why did you wake me up so early in the morning?" His mom says, "You have defamed Su-ming by leaking the surveillance footage. And now, Lang has found information about this, that you did this. So now he is going to fire you." So Ziyang asks, "Have you already found a solution for this?" So Ziyang's mom says, "But we can also reveal Han's previous mistakes. We will prove that Lang is not clean either." Hearing this, Ziyang becomes happy and starts serving tea to his mom. Ziyang's mom says, "Spend more time with Su-ming. Right now, she needs you the most." Actually, Ziyang's mom says this sarcastically. On that side, Su-ming goes and gives Lang peanut coffee. Now Lang thinks, she wants to test me to see if I am Zixing or not. She still remembers my peanut allergy. Just then, Lang's staff enters his cabin, so Lang slowly tells him to drink the coffee. So his staff asks him loudly, "Can I take a sip of your coffee?" Lang says, "Yes." Now the assistant drinks the whole coffee. Su-ming watches this secretly and leaves from there. Then the assistant says, Ziyang has cleaned all the evidence and kept the financial record flawless. Now then we see after leave, Su-ming goes to Lang and says, "I am your assistant. I will be with you everywhere." Now Lang goes to a meeting somewhere, where Su-ming also goes. In a short time, Su-ming secretly enters a big tin box, and from there she shouts, "Help! Help!" So Lang, searching for her, enters the same box, and just then the door there closes. Lang feels suffocated. So Su-ming comes and says, "You have claustrophobia, right?" Actually, Zixing also has claustrophobia, so she wanted to check if this was Zixing or not. Now, like in childhood, Su-ming tells Lang to inhale and exhale. Finally, when they both get out of there, Su Ming says, "You are Zixing." To this, Lang says, "Don't make up stories about someone I don't even know." Now later, Su Ming calls Ziyang and says, "Lang and I always live in the same house. You keep him stuck somewhere outside for a little while." Now after this, Su Ming starts checking Lang's documents and sees that Lang has transferred money to many senior executives after Su Ming's dad's death. So over there, Ziyang tells Lang, "Since your and Su Ming's engagement has been called off, you should stay away from her now." To this, Lang says, "I will only agree to this if she herself tells me." Now after this, Su Ming tries to enter a room in the house, but Lang comes and stops her. Now after this, he tells Su Ming, "You are not allowed to enter this room." Now Su Ming, crying, says, "I waited for you for 18 years. Why are you behaving like this with me now?" Now Lang speaks very angrily and says, "I am not that person." Now Su Ming feels very bad about his behavior, and she says, "Yes, you can't be him, because he would never behave like such a monster." Then she leaves the house and starts living at Ziyang's house. Now after this, Lang finds out that Su Ming has also resigned from the office. So he gets out of his cabin and comes outside a banquet room and hears a person telling Ziyang, "I am jealous of you because you have Su Ming." Now Su Ming is about to drink a drink, but Lang comes and stops her. Ziyang tells him, "You can't take Su Ming from here like this. And on top of that, your and her engagement was called off." To this, Lang says, "The engagement was never called off. I did not believe any rumor against Su Ming." Lang says this and he takes Su Ming from there. He says, "Ziyang just brought you to use in business. If you side with him, then you and I will become enemies." To this, Su Ming says, "We were always enemies." Now after this, Lang gets very drunk and falls asleep. The next day, Ziyang and his mom are talking about how Zhangqi has run away with all the funds for the Zhangqi Garden Villa project. Actually, Zhangqi is the same person whom Ziyang had introduced to Su Ming that day. Now here, Su Ming comes and tells Lang, "Because of your carelessness, the funds for the Garden Villa project have disappeared. So the board has assigned me to handle the design department." Actually, Su Ming gave her last 10% share to Miss Ruie, in return for which Miss Ruie gave her a job role in the design department. Now Lang's assistant tells Su Ming, "You had dinner with Zhangqi that day." And after that, he ran away with the funds for the Garden Villa project. Over there, we are shown a girl named Lisa, whom Miss Ruie has thought of making Ziyang's fiancé. Now, Lisa's dad tells her about Ziyang, but Lisa keeps trying to avoid the topic. Here, Su Ming secretly overhears Ziyang and his mom talking about sending Zhangqi to the port. So she thinks that Miss Ruie and Ziyang are also involved in the theft of these funds. Here, Lisa comes and hugs Lang, and just then Su Ming is passing by. Lang calls her, and Su Ming introduces herself to Lisa, saying, "I am a fiancé of Lang." Then she tells them both to talk and starts to leave. After this, Lisa gives Lang an offer, saying, "If you and I behave like fiancés, then my dad will give you funds for your company." To this, Lang says, "You are a very good friend of mine, and I cannot use you like this by marrying you." Lisa says, "And what if I myself consent to this marriage?" Anyway, then over there, we see Su Ming has come to the port to find Zhang Chai, where someone hits her from behind and she faints. Then she is in a place where her hands have been tied. And here, Lang gets a call from someone who says Zhangqi is running away from the port. Hearing this, Lang immediately leaves the office. Now, Lang reaches the same port from where Zhangqi was about to run away. There he sees Su Ming, who is about to faint, so Lang starts saying, "Look, I have come. I am Zixing." Then Lang rescues Su Ming and brings her to the hospital. When Su Ming regains consciousness, Lang asks her, "Are you okay? Is your hand okay?" Just then, Su Ming says, "Zixing," and then Su Ming starts to smile. Seeing this, Lang also ultimately smiles. Later, a person calls Lang and says, "Everyone thinks you have a connection with Zhangqi's escape from the port. If this financial issue is not resolved, you will be removed from your position." After this, Su Ming comes there, to whom Lang says, "I will no longer be the rude Lang I used to be in front of you." Then they both kiss. After this, a board meeting is held where Lang is removed from the chairman's position. Now Lisa comes and gives Lang her card saying, "You use my funds." Lang says, "I cannot take your money." Now later, Lisa tells Su Ming, "Lang rejected me because of you, but your dad's and Miss Ruie's personal hatred led to the death of Lang's mom." Now hearing this, Su Ming feels very bad. She leaves a letter for Lang, writing, "Lang, I am relieving you of all the pain." And leaving this letter, she goes away from there. Now reading this letter, Lang feels very, very bad. Here, Su Ming goes to Ziyang and says, "I want my 10% shares back. In exchange, what do you want?" Ziyang tells her to drink 6 glasses of wine, in which Ziyang has actually mixed a drug. Now after drinking the wine, Su Ming starts to faint. so Ziyang starts to take advantage of her, and just then Lang, searching for Suming, arrives there. He warns Ziyang to stay away from Suming. After this, Lang takes Suming under the shower and asks, "Why did you go to him?" Suming says, "To ask for the 10% shares for you. I didn't know that my dad and Miss Ruie had done that to your mom." Now, after this, they both kiss, and they become quite intimate. The next day, they are both in bed, and Suming wakes up. Then she starts to brush her finger on Lang's face. Now after this, Lang wakes up and starts kissing Suming. Later, Lang goes to Ant-Man and says, "Please give us and Suming your blessings. Suming is now the only hope in my life. It's not her fault either." Ant-Man says, "You have grown up now. I can't control you, but don't forget what you have to do." Now after this, Ziyang calls Suming and says, "The other day I lost control of myself, so I am sorry for that, but now I really want to give you back the shares." Now Suming thinks for a while and goes to meet Ziyang. In a short time, Lang comes into Suming's room and sees that Ziyang is sitting there. Lang is shown a photo of Suming by Ziyang, from which Lang understands that Suming has been kidnapped. Now here, Suming is running from the kidnapper's trap, and just then she falls into the sea. Now Lang has also arrived there, and seeing this, he goes to save Suming. Later, in a house, Suming is sleeping on the bed, and Lang is sitting holding Suming's hand. Now later, Suming regains consciousness, and she hugs Lang and says, "I found out what you were afraid of. When my eyes opened, I also started to fear losing you. I couldn't see you around." Now Lang says, "You promise you won't be so worried for me." Suming says, "How can I not be worried for you?" After this, Lang starts kissing Suming. Anyway, then in the office, Ziyang conducts a board meeting where he tells everyone, "I have become the largest shareholder of the Zizhen Group. Lang has transferred his shares to me. So now I am asking to elect myself as the chairman in the board meeting. Does everyone agree with this?" Just then, Lang comes there and says, "You are very impatient. Come on, now go and talk to the police." Just then, the police arrive there and tell Ziyang, "Lang has filed a case of kidnapping and extortion against you." On that side, Suming says, "Why is Lang not letting me go anywhere outside?" Now Lang's staff keeps stopping Suming from going anywhere. So Suming sneakily runs into the garden. Now Suming is swinging on a swing, and just then, Lang comes there. Seeing Suming, he remembers his childhood. Now Suming sees Lang and hugs him. On that side, Ant-Man is at Miss Ruie's house. Ruie sees her and says, "How did a maid like you get into my house?" Man says, Ziyang had taken a loan from my man, in exchange for which he had leased this house. Then he couldn't repay that loan, so now this whole house is mine. Now Ruie asks, "Are you in league with Lang?" Now Man says, "Lang is the one whom you threw into the water to die." Ruie says, "Zixing?" Now Man says, "You and Su Ming's dad together killed Lang's mom." Ruie says, "Su Ming's dad wanted to save Lang's mom. When I threw Lang into the water, Su Ming's dad came and said, 'I want Lang to live.'" Hearing this, Ant-Man is shocked. In anger, she goes to hit Ruie, but Ruie pushes her and throws her away. Then Ruie says, "If I have killed Lang once, then I can kill him a second time too." On that side, Lang tells Su Ming, "You waited for me, and I only hurt you." Now Su Ming hugs Lang and says, "Please don't push me away from you." After this, they are at home, where Su Ming is feeding soup to Lang. Just then, Ant-Man comes here, so Su Ming starts giving her soup too. Ant says sorry to Su Ming because she has behaved very badly with her till today. Then, after drinking the soup, she says, "It's made well." Over there, Ruie tells a person named Mr. Qin, Zixing has returned to take revenge. Mr. Qin points to a man and says, "This person will now follow you from now on." Over there, someone calls Lang and says, "I have found evidence against Ruie." Later, we see Lang returning home, where he is talking to Su Ming. Just then, a person comes from behind and stabs Lang with a knife. At the same time, Su Ming can't hear Lang's voice, so she gets worried. The scene cuts, and we see Lang is in the hospital, and he has regained consciousness. Su Ming is sitting right next to him. Ant-Man sees them both from a distance and thinks to herself, "Ruie, I will not let you hurt them anymore." Now Ant-Man goes to Ruie and plays 2 recordings. In the first recording, Ruie is telling Ant-Man, "I killed Lang's mom and I will kill Lang again." And in the second recording, a person is saying, "I have seen how Ruie forcibly sent Lang's mom to a mental hospital." Man says, "I have witnesses too. You quit the Lang group, or I will completely destroy you." Now after this, Ruie gets a call where a person tells her, "This was your last chance. Either they die, or you will be destroyed." Now Ruie gets angry and tells her staff, "Go and kill Man." Her staff does the same. Now Lang and Su Ming find out about this. Lang gets very angry and says, "Now I will find Ruie." Now Lang gets very stressed, so Su Ming starts to console him. Lang says, "Madam Man had saved me." After my mom's death, she had created a family for me. Now Lang is going to Ant-Man's murder place, and he remembers Ant-Man. He starts crying a lot, so Su-Ming comes and starts to console him. After this, we see Lang is bedridden in the hospital, and Su-Ming is feeding soup to Lang. Anyway, then in the office, Miss Ruie tells everyone, "I know that there have been some issues with Yang recently, but now I have bought the maximum shares of this company. I can lead this company towards success in the future." Just then, Su-Ming comes here and says, "I have come here as Lang's proxy. And as per this file, Lang has taken the maximum shares from Yang." Now after this, we see Su-Ming coming from the parking place talking on the phone. Just then, a person comes and holds a knife to her throat and says, "Take this as a warning. If you don't back off, you won't survive." Just then, Lang's assistant sees all this and starts following that warning person. Now later we see Lang's assistant telling him, "Someone attacked Su-Ming." Now Lang thinks, because of being with me, Su-Ming has become unsafe. Now after this, Lang meets Lisa and says, "I need your help to keep Su-Ming away from me." Now the next day we see Lang and Lisa together. Just then, Su-Ming comes in front of them and says, "Where are you going?" Just then, Lisa says, "He is going abroad with me for better treatment." Su-Ming says, "Lang, I know why you are doing all this." Then she stops Lang from moving forward. To this, Lang says, "Ever since you have been with me, I have only been falling down. We have to stay separate." After this, we see Su-Ming holding her head and sitting in her office. Just then, Lang's assistant comes to her, seeing whom Su-Ming says, "You didn't go to drop Lang at the airport?" The assistant says, "He lied to you. He is not going abroad. He is going to meet Miss Ruie." On that side, Lang is talking to that attacker sent by Ruie. He tells that attacker, "You stop working for Ruie. I will help you to maintain your daughter's safety." Now after this, Lang is going somewhere, and that attacker calls Lang and says, "Miss Ruie is in danger. A bomb has been fitted in her car." So now Lang goes to the parking place and tells Miss Ruie about this bomb. And just then, Su-Ming also comes there, who tells Lang, "Don't stay away from me. We will face all these dangers together." Now after this, Lang reveals in front of the company's board members that Miss Ruie has misused the company's money a lot. Because of this, the company has had to face a lot of loss. Now after this, Lang and Su-Ming are sitting in the park. Su-Ming says, "Your mom, my dad, and Madam Man will be happy with this result." Lang kisses Su-Ming and says, "The final result will be good when you and I are together and never separate." The next day, someone calls Su-Ming and says, "Lang is very injured. I am sending the location. You come quickly." Now Su-Ming reaches the seaside where Lang is. Lang says, "My heart has been hurt again and again, but your love has healed it." Su-Ming says, "Can you stop joking about your safety?" Now after this, Lang proposes to Su-Ming and says, "Will you marry me?" Then he kisses Su-Ming. Now they both are watching the sunset where Su-Ming says, "I want to eat cotton candy." So then Lang goes to get cotton candy. Just then, Miss Ruie comes there in disguise and says to herself, "Because of you, I have lost everything." Now the scene cuts, and we see Lang coming to the sea beach. Lang looks for Su-Ming, but he doesn't find her. He understands that Miss Ruie has kidnapped her. On that side, Ruie has tied up Su-Ming. Here, Ruie also reveals, "I killed Su-Ming by giving her medicine." Just then, Lang comes here and tells Ruie, "You let Su-Ming go, and I will give you all my assets." Ruie says, "Now I don't want your assets." Then she presses the button of the bomb's remote, which starts the timer, and then she says, "We will all die together." Then Lang goes to Su-Ming, and Su-Ming says, "You run away from here, don't worry about me." But Lang gets busy opening Su-Ming's handcuffs. He picks up a big stone and starts breaking the handcuffs with it. Su-Ming says, "Don't die with me. You have to take revenge on your enemies." But finally, Lang breaks the handcuffs, and they both get out of that place. Right after this, the bomb blasts there. After this, the police arrive there, whom Lang had already called. The police catch Miss Ruie and take her away. Anyway, then later we see Su-Ming in a wedding dress coming towards Lang. Lang is saying, "Before meeting you, I had to face a lot. After meeting you, I felt like I was returning home after a long journey." Now Su-Ming says, "We both will always face every difficulty together. I am not only your wife, but also your friend." Now Lang says, "Thank you for giving me a home." Su-Ming says, "Welcome home." Then they both kiss. And with this, the drama has a happy ending.